Alrighty. What it do, y'all? It's supposed to be on this multi-panel. So, let's go ahead and move a couple things around. And as we zoom in on his face, in classic Broly style, his pupils would soon disappear. Alright, what to have this conversation. Probably gonna be a debatable, but not too much, not too crazy. Probably might have to pause in between. But just for anybody out there that have that top 3 disrespect, automatically is Mahomes. Currently, right now, if you want to say Stafford over top of Aaron Rodgers all the time, I'm just talking about the current rankings. So when we talk about Jalen Hurts, we're going to talk about all the tangibles, all the intangibles, and I'm going to talk about every single thing in between. Broly would remain stoically calm and collected. But as Ultra Vegeta would go for his first punch, unsurprisingly, the legendary Broly, with the most perfect of instincts gained from Nearest, would move just out of the way. But things would not end there. As suddenly, out of nowhere, Vegeta would experience an instant counter to the ribs, despite Broly doing nothing but moving away. At least, that's how it appeared. What the hell was that? Leaving the God Killer momentarily stunned, as even his well-trained eyes and reactions could not detect what was going on. Brody, what did you just do? Alrighty, so been wanting to have this little sit-down conversation more so. It's always been about one particular Eagles quarterback that's currently on the roster as of currently right now. Eliminated from the playoffs, yes. Statistically, this is about average of a go season for him, per se. So, give or take with that, take it for what it is. I say it how it is. Jalen is arguably going to be in my top 3 category of quarterbacks of this current NFL status of the day. Because I've seen a lot of dish to him, especially once he won once he won the Super Bowl of 2024. And it really in my mind really has shocked me with the level of disrespect that other quarterbacks was shown prominent love over him. Now people want to say, oh, such and such quarterback, Jared Allen. I'm not Jared Allen. Josh Allen. Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson are probably better passers. I'll let you have that topic of conversation. I'll let you have that. But when it comes to quarterbacks that check the marker down, that get it done more so in that win state category, he's up there. And arguably, like I say, I don't think nobody wants to have that top 3 conversations. I even had some Philadelphia Eagle fan conversations, even talking about they wouldn't even put Jalen in the top 3 or they was going to bench. And the blasphemy is just like the level of it's the scrutiny, and it's also the journey that somebody has to go through. And that's where, for me, that sticks out for Jalen at this point. Again, it's going to be an arguable conversation with him and Stafford. There's no doubt Mahomes will be over top of those two career-wise, even once he returns. But when it's all said and done, Jalen has checkpoint a lot of things off. And the thing is, we don't give enough respect for him for that. and he's the currently right now the top guy leading every rushing test would be because his the way his offense is run and the style of play. But if you're getting the job done, this conversation really doesn't even have anything to do with what he is more so had did in between with the playoffs, what he did in the Super Bowl, because even regular season is just like incomparable. So when I'm having this conversation, I'm just at this point, the Jalen Hurt disrespect has got to stop because even with the top echelon quarterbacks, they don't even come nowhere close. And let me see, because I'll even pull this up as a sticker or so. That way everybody can go ahead. But yeah, the Jalen Hurts disrespect got to stop because I remember when they was having, um, oh God, Washington Commanders quarterback over top of him at that stage and at that point coming into the season and the ranking. I'm like, everybody has an opinion, but you know, it's so- it's to the point where he should have never been like disputed against anybody at this point because even with the Justin Herbert conversations that I'd be hearing, I'm like, Justin Herbert can't even give you a playoff win, yet Jalen has had few. Jalen has had many playoff wins. He has had more playoff wins than most active NFL quarterbacks as of today, besides Stafford, besides um I'm about to say Jimmy G, besides Mahomes, besides besides Josh Allen, besides Lamar Jackson, and those are only the few quarterbacks per se. Even Aaron Rodgers, who's I'm a Pittsburgh Steelers fan, but he's gotten put out, and this is every first round exit. So at some point in time, when we always talk about who's the better passer, who's getting the wins. So rather, if you feel that Jalen has not the intangibles of a prolific quarterback passer, that's fine. That's like I said, it's not a matter of what you do, it's how you do it. And in the NFL, you gotta make use of the intangibles and everything that's credible that's being used to your advantage. And he has done that. So with that all being said, like I don't think anybody would go ahead and probably debate on that because, like I said, Jalen has been predominantly a top three quarterback in this league standing, and like I said, arguably I'm not even going to go for nothing less because he is shown time and time out again. This, I think it's like his fifth offensive coordinator. This is I think year six going on with the team going on starting next year. They can revamp, they can bounce back and everything else like that. So I'm not questioning that, but where I do question anybody's intangibles is just that he shouldn't even be starting, but here it is. He's done more with, especially coming into the league, he's been doing a whole lot more. And like I said, for active quarterbacks as among himself, he's the only one that can have these type of conversations. So, and that's where, like I said, Jalen disrespect also has to mainly stop because what other quarterback was ever going to actually like Purdy maybe is on the verge, but there's nobody else past that. And even with that, I still wouldn't even say that Purdy, not even Burrow, not even Josh. and it's questionable with Josh for me, and that's just me personally. So you can take my biased opinion off of that. But Josh Allen is not Jalen Hurts. Jalen, they are two different bodies of work with two different results. Point in time, like I said, the Jalen Hurts underneath any other quarterback in this league, probable should even be any occurrence or any relevant conversation because not too many quarterbacks can say, other than like I said, Stafford, relevant of the relevancy of Aaron Rodgers' Super Bowl is just so high school for me at this point. So that's where that track is at. And Mahomes is predominantly like the only if you want to take like if you take Mahomes' body of work, I ask some people, would you put him in the Hall of Fame? I say it's way too early because I still say there's more potential that we can get out of that. But arguably, the person that can go band for band with him in this conversation is Jalen Hurts because he's seen him twice in there. And unfortunately, for every other AFC quarterback, y'all have to see Mahomes in order to get to the Super Bowl. So even if you do get to the AFC Championship game, you got to get past the team normally 9 times out of 10. So this is the first season that we didn't have the Kansas City Chiefs in the AFC Championship game. It's surprising. It was again a shocking season. They weren't in tune the first part of the season, so when Mahomes got hurt, unfortunately, I think it was week 15, 16, it was already out of reach. They have already lost so many divisional games that even reaching the playoffs was even like a long stretch at that point. So unfortunately, we're going to see a different face reluctantly inside the AFC Championship game. But again, it is going to be a relevantly like any given Sunday type of league. It has been that since, and now more so than ever, we even seen, like I said, the juggernaut dynasty, like however you want to say, franchise that predominantly you always saw them there for the last 8 years. I mean, because you can say Mahomes has had a Braun-like career, but at the end of the day, Mahomes, like I said, he will be back probably in the Super Bowls. Super Bowls. Let me put that like that, especially with the talent and the coach that he has. So I don't never say they're not going to go back. They're definitely going to be seeing maybe the Eagles. And it's dependent because the 49ers are arguably going to be in this conversation. And hopefully, if they get all of their players back, depending on when. And again, I'm hoping that, praying that everybody goes ahead and come back, hopefully 100% during the season with no scrutiny or anything else like that, or any like side effects of post injury per se. But I'm really am hoping that everybody gets to go ahead and get a full term season to go ahead and showcase their skill set. I mean, regardless of what, it's just always like that for the NFL because there's always a car crash on every play. So, but again, I'm gonna continue going on because predominantly when these two always have gone head to head, somebody has done better than the other. Rather, you want to include the longest run, longest completion, and get out the way for that part. And for touchdown passes, again, Mahomes can have the touchdown passes because it's all about the results at the end of the day. So they have gone head to head twice now. I don't see why. Where in the NFL we don't have the Brady's, we don't have the Mannings. So now we get to the point where let's go on ahead and really enjoy the youth that it is. I mean, Jalen's only 26. I think Mahomes under 30. And we have a couple more years, especially how the way the NFL is set up for these passing quarterbacks to predominantly dominate the league. And we're going to see the next couple of years, especially maybe with them. I can probably guarantee you that Mahomes, and as long as Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs can probably revamp their offense per se, and at least add some more additions to their defense, I have a feeling that you can see them back to dominance in the AFC West. I don't see where I can see where the Denver Broncos can be a problem. I can see if I do not know as far as the LA Chargers are. I don't know if they're real. And as far as their history is concerned, it's always we're there, but we're never going to ever get there. And unfortunately, that has been the franchise hangover that has been over the last 40 to 50 years. But it can revamp, it can change with any point in time. As any given Sunday, we thought that when they bought, we thought I didn't really believe the hype, but once the Chargers did beat the Chiefs earlier in the season, I already felt it was a shift of tide. Just as far as this season is concerned, again next year we got to see how well the Chiefs compete to see if this is going to be the Chiefs of dynasty times for the 8 times they have been for the AFC Championship game and the 5 times I think is it 4? I think 4 times they have been in the Super Bowl. So again, it's predominantly going to be up to them how well they do and where they go ahead and see themselves. Um, again, going forward into this next couple NFL seasons again, because everything's already written in the books. So again, and let's see if this one can go ahead. So here's another thing I got a chance to look at. So when we talk about stats and everything per se, where Hurts is at, this is his only like lowest statistical season that he had since missing that one game. And not even so, because that was even predominantly good because he still had a better touchdown to interception ratio. His highest interception ratio came in 2013, and at that point he even had 30 something yards. And I think even if you take away some of the interceptions, he still has a better interception quarterback ratio than most QBs now in the NFL today, which is, like I said, crazy about how the Jalen Hurts not being in the top 3 conversation also like kind of synonymously is a slap to the face because I can name a couple NFL quarterbacks that were not even starters because they've thrown more than 20 tubs. But again, he only had the 20 interceptions little during that little window. Like I said, he cleans up the interceptions. That don't become a problem. Then you have a 4,000-yard quarterback. Even when I think he missed one part of the season. So, and again, he didn't even have the greatest passing statistical season the year prior where he almost did get 3,000 passing yards, but he was still close. But I mean, he had Saquon running the ball, and they fed off of that, and it was a RBI run pass option. They have the weapons and tools enough to do it. Even so, I feel like they just get continuity within the offensive line. I feel like they're definitely a few plays or definitely a few different play calls away from actually doing something different in most of their games. I'll take a small break real quick. And I'm going to get back to y'all just 1 second.